When it comes to keeping you in the know for city government, the City of Miami Beach leads the way. Hello everyone, and welcome to City Vision, your all-inclusive passport to the issues and initiatives driving Miami Beach with a vision towards the future. I'm Julia Yarbough. In this episode of City Vision, we give you an inside look at the city's budget. We bring you up to date on several initiatives departments are taking to improve the quality of life and safety, and we'll help you explore our living seawalls, a program keeping Miami on the cutting edge of environmental progress. In an effort to offer 100% transparency to the city's budget and ultimately taxpayers' dollars, Miami Beach has launched a new online tool known as OpenGov. And just like the name suggests, it allows you full and open access to track the city's finances. Transparency. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, the definition of transparency is characterized by visibility or accessibility of information, especially concerning business practices. The City of Miami Beach is taking the definition of that word to new levels with the launch of a new online tool giving the public full transparent access to the city's fiscal information, a platform called OpenGov.
I think it's a fantastic transparency tool that allows people to learn all about how the budget's actually spent in what areas. For example, if a citizen wants to know, hey, where do my property taxes go? What are the types of services and departments that's paying for? Those are all the kinds of things that are available on the platform.
Here's how OpenGov works. Simply log on to www.miamibeachfl.gov. On the home page, you'll find the OpenGov platform. This page gives visitors access to the city's total budget. With a few simple clicks, you can find numerous easy-to-follow views of current and historic revenue and expenses. The information is categorized by departments, funds, and even the specific reasoning for the dollar amounts allocated and spent. Learn the inner financial workings of human resources, parks and recreation, public works, and more. Ever wondered about resort taxes? How and where the funds originate and where those dollars are ultimately spent? What about the specifics of the police and fire department budgets? How much is spent for water, sewer, and other utilities? Another interesting feature of OpenGov, the platform offers visitors a month-to-month comparison of the budget and provides 5 years' worth of data. It's all visible and readily accessible through OpenGov. It's a civics lesson in not only how a local municipality works, but also in the value of transparency, of making it easy for citizens to see and monitor how their tax dollars are being spent.
I think it's important because it helps build credibility with the community. I think it's human nature to want to understand what's happening to your money, and if you don't understand it, usually that's negative. So I hope that we're able to build greater credibility and understanding, and that folks will really feel positive about it.
With OpenGov, you now have full and open access to the City of Miami Beach. The new Miami Beach Convention Center project is starting to take shape in a number of ways. The first workshop was recently held, bringing together the major architectural and contracting players led by Clark Construction. Experts who will bring the vision to life, electricians, plumbers, landscapers, and more, all met to begin coordinating the construction aspects for the $500 million LEED certified project. Miami Beach Convention Center project director Maria Hernandez leads this team and says the new convention center will be a regional asset.
Well, this is going to be, at the end, one of the most beautiful buildings in Dade County. It's going to be one of the most beautiful convention centers in the country. It's going to be state-of-the-art. This is going to be a place where no matter what type of business you're in, you are going to want to have a meeting, a convention. You're going to want to be here.
And look for an in-depth one-on-one interview with Maria Hernandez, the woman leading this massive construction project. That's in the next episode of Meet Your Team, right here on MBTV. Sea level rise and coastal restoration. Miami Beach has almost become a poster child city when it comes to how leaders and scientists are working together to address these pressing issues. Mayor Philip Levine describes sea level rise as not just our issue, but one affecting coastal cities worldwide. It's one reason he has spearheaded creating what's being called the Beach Alliance. With the beach considered one of the most important economic engines for South Florida coastal cities, Mayor Levine has joined forces with mayors from several other coastal municipalities, Key Biscayne, Bal Harbour, Surfside, and Sunny Isles Beach, to urge Miami-Dade County, the state, and federal governments to come up with long-term solutions to restoring beaches impacted by storm surge and beach erosion. The city leaders recently gathered at 46th Street and Collins, the second most narrow beach area in the city of Miami Beach, visually indicative of the ongoing need for restoration and resiliency plans.
We realize we solved this problem through beach renourishment. By having the county, the state, the federal government pitch in to take care of this incredible asset by bringing new sand to our beach.
Lifts the water up.
The mayor also recently hosted a visit from FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate and Senior Advisor to the President, Brian Deese, both visiting Sunset Harbor, one of the city's lowest lying neighborhoods, to showcase the city's efforts in dealing with climate change issues. The governmental leaders toured the area to see water pump stations, the process of roads being raised, and efforts to upgrade stormwater infrastructures.
As you've seen the president say, this issue of climate change is real, it's not going anywhere, and we are seeing the sea level rise. And so the question for coastal communities across the country is how can they prepare and how can they do something about it?
The city of Miami Beach is dedicated to the public safety of its visitors and residents, especially this time of year. We're talking, of course, about hurricane season. Be sure to watch the MBTV half-hour special, Plan and Prepare, Hurricanes and Beyond. You'll learn the need-to-know weather terminology associated with storm season, hear from emergency management experts on how to prepare yourself, your home, family, and pets for severe weather. And you'll get an inside look at the men and women who fly into the heart of storms to bring us the most up-to-date radar information to help keep us safe. Plan and Prepare, Hurricanes and Beyond, right here on MBTV. When City Vision returns, surf's up. But sometimes that surf can be dangerous. We'll show you how Miami Beach Ocean Rescue is helping to keep Miami Beach visitors safe in the water. And summer camp like you've never seen it. Miami Beach Parks and Recreation takes fun and learning to new levels, South Florida style.
Let's keep traffic moving. We're serious about alleviating traffic congestion citywide. That means zero tolerance for any stop vehicle blocking the flow of traffic. No stopping, no standing, no waiting. Break the rules and your vehicle will be cited and or towed. No stopping, no standing, no waiting. Don't have this guy blow the whistle on you.
Welcome back to City Vision. The white sand of Miami Beach draws millions of visitors from around the globe each year. The primary duty of the Miami Beach Ocean Rescue is to make sure those visitors have fun but remain safe in the water.
I love being out on the beach. It's one of my passions out here, but the second thing is I really like to make sure that everybody's going to have a great time on the beach.
Miami Beach Ocean Rescue lifeguard Lucas Bocanegra wants others to love the water as much as he does. And who doesn't enjoy a day at the beach? Sun, surf, relaxation. Locals love being on Miami Beach, and our sands draw millions of visitors each year from around the globe. Keeping that many beachgoers safe is the job and top priority of members of Miami Beach Ocean Rescue. 125 members, men and women, who keep watchful eyes towards the ocean, ready to dive in at any sign of trouble. And when dealing with the ocean, trouble can come in many different forms in and out of the water. Perhaps the most dangerous, rip currents. Bocanegra knows all too well the dangers. He has had to save lives.
A rip current is fast-moving water or current that flows out to the ocean. It's not actually an undertow, it's not a rip tide, this is a current that flows out to the ocean. So you're not getting pulled underneath the water, you're actually getting pulled out to the ocean.
Miami Beach Ocean Rescue has ongoing efforts on the beach and off to teach visitors about the dangers of rip currents and how to remain safe. First rule of thumb, lifeguards say if you find yourself caught in a rip current, don't panic and don't fight it. Rather, swim with the current.
You need to swim parallel to get out of these currents. The currents are only so long and so wide, so if you can manage in the water, you can swim a little bit, you can pull yourself out by swimming parallel to the beach and then coming back in.
How treacherous are rip currents? Memorial Day weekend 2015. Thousands of visitors on the beach. Ocean conditions, high risk of rip currents. Over a 3-day period, ocean rescue personnel conducted 68 rescues, pulling a total of 103 people who were in trouble out of the water. An exceptionally busy time, but no loss of life.
Our team is always in place, but again, when we have those conditions that we had during the weekend, they have to be extra careful and watch even a little more than they normally do.
Second rule of thumb, help lifeguards help you. Always swim near a lifeguard tower. There are currently 31 lifeguard towers situated along Miami Beach. The city recently installed 2 additional towers, one at 10th Street and Ocean Drive, another at 43rd Street. To be at the ready, ocean rescue staff continually train. Fitness is a must, and these lifeguards are able to respond quickly to an emergency, paddling to someone in need close to shore, and when minutes count, reaching others by watercraft.
Our main duties here is public safety.
Bocanegro admits the place he loves can also pose a danger, but says when everyone follows a few simple safety tips, a day at the beach really can be another day in paradise. Whether you're an adult or child, Miami Beach has a way of making you simply want to play. And what better way to have fun than summer camp? Miami Beach Parks and Recreation has a host of summer camp programs, but like most everything else here on the beach, these programs are extraordinary. City Vision reporter Kate Gonzalez has the story.
Mention summer camp to many parents, and this classic Hollywood camp flick is the image they may conjure up. Meatballs, fun stuff for sure, but it's a far cry from summer camp programs offered by Miami Beach Parks and Recreation. There's typical summer kid stuff like baseball, basketball, and tennis, but a series of specialty camps take summer vacation to a whole new level.
Our purpose is that by the end of this week, for them to be able to go home and prepare their own meals. Learn the basics, not be older and not have any clue when they step into the kitchen how to cut a piece of bread open.
This is Culinary Kids Camp, where youngsters get basic kitchen know-how. And we're not talking opening a can of soup. Kids are preparing a full menu from scratch. Pizza cake, spaghetti, healthy brownies, strawberry cream pie. Could a culinary career be in the future for some of these youngsters?
Well, my mom told me that I should go to camp, and I always do every year. And this camp, I'm going to on vacation soon, and I want to make my family like a bunch of meals, and I thought this would be nice.
For others, it's not only about food prep, but also learning nutrition.
Well, some foods are healthier. In fact, one piece of celery can be healthier than another because one of them can have genetically modified organisms and another one can't. So, yeah, one can be healthier than the other.
You go shopping with your mom?
Yeah.
Do you help her out? Do you help her pick out different things?
Help her pick out apples, carrots, celery.
I love the children. I want to be a part of their growing up, and growing up in the kitchen is a huge thing. You know, being able to handle yourself alone in the kitchen shows that you're becoming independent, that you don't need someone else to make yourself a meal.
From the kitchen to the waterways, Miami Beach kids can also learn water safety skills in the kayak camp. What better way to spend a part of the summer than out paddling? Kids learn teamwork, partnership, and get in a great workout. Speaking of exercise, calling all future Olympic gymnasts. Here, young students get a chance to learn and practice the basics of fitness, balance, strength, and the dedication and focus that comes with gymnastics training.
Kids usually like to play on this day more game and computer, but gymnastics is really important because take them, like the old school, help them to play together, to talk, interact with other kids. have fun, exercise.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg of activities. Specialty camps include dance, golf, ice skating, swimming, science, and water polo, just to name a few. Don't you wish you were a kid again and could go to summer camp?
For those wanting to get a taste of winter sports year-round, the newly renovated Barbara Medina Ice Rink at the Scott Rakow Youth Center is now open for business. Grand reopening celebrations included a tribute to Barbara Medina, a woman who impacted the lives of many through ice skating. Visitors to the reopening were treated to a free ice skating session and a memorabilia wall honoring Barbara Medina. And here's more proof Miami Beach knows how to have fun. The city is being honored with a 2015 Playful City USA designation. The national recognition, sponsored by Kaboom, a nonprofit dedicated to providing active and playful experiences to children, honors cities across the country dedicated to making their communities more playful. And you may remember Kaboom, along with JetBlue and the Irie Foundation, sponsored one of the newest, and from all reports, super fun playgrounds in Miami Beach. Crespi Park, located at 7801 Crespi Boulevard, is the result of a team effort with more than 1,200 volunteers helping to physically build Crespi Park. And let the playtime continue. Tatum Park in North Beach at 8050 Byron Avenue has been upgraded with new safety surfacing and a shade structure. These improvements come on the heels of the recently added sand volleyball courts. There is much more ahead here on City Vision. Pet and nature lovers, stick around. We've got just the stories for you. There's a little bit of feline frenzy happening on Miami Beach. Up next, we'll outline an animal rescue program that seems to be just perfect. And did you know a seawall could be a living entity? Yep, it's true. And Miami Beach is utilizing this type of environmental engineering to help make our community more resilient. That story when City Vision returns. Planning a day at the beach? It just got a whole lot easier. Miami Beach Ocean Rescue takes the guessing out of weather and beach conditions with the new automated information hotline, 305-673-7714. Everything you need to know: surf conditions, water temperatures, and if any warning flags are posted. Fun and safety, just a phone call away. 305-673-7714. The new weather and beach conditions automated information hotline, open now. Welcome back to City Vision. Do you know what a natural shoreline is? Well, if you live in the city of Miami Beach, it's a term that you may become quite familiar with. Joining us now is Elizabeth Wheaton. She is the Assistant Building Director for the city of Miami Beach, overseeing the Environmental and Sustainability Division. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Julia.
All right, so we're here in Pine Tree Park, a beautiful surrounding, and you are the environmental guru about seawalls and natural seawalls. What are we talking about with them?
Sure. Originally, Miami Beach was lined with mangroves on the western portion of the island, and those mangroves serve to protect the island, attenuate wave energy, and provide habitat prior to development. When the city came in and we began to build up the city, streets, private property, condos along the western side of the island, we filled in those mangroves and we built hard seawalls with concrete caps and pilings. We're now learning that that may not have been the best solution, and we need to work with our natural environment in order to create more resilient coastline. Here at Pine Tree Park, we have mangroves and riprap. So we had an existing shoreline where the mangroves were still naturally found, and we protected them on the water side by adding additional riprap in order to help attenuate the wave energy that was coming in through Indian Creek.
Right, so let's talk about, you've mentioned riprap. What is that? It sounds like it's not saran wrap, it's riprap. What exactly is that?
Sure, riprap is very simple: rocks. Boulders. They vary in size, and it's placed in the water to kind of break up the shoreline, so as the wave energy hits the riprap, it's dispersed, as well as it provides habitat. So you have crabs and sponges and corals, which will naturally be drawn to that riprap and become that living shoreline.
Now, where are some of the areas in Miami Beach that we already have this living shoreline in place?
Here at Pine Tree Park is the area in the city where we have the largest amount of mangroves, but we have other locations such as Brittany Bay Park up in North Beach, at Dickens Avenue by the elementary school. There's beautiful mangrove shoreline up there, as well as at Maurice Gibb Park over in Sunset Harbor. We have some of the riprap that's been installed, and there's a smaller section where we do have some mangroves as well.
Now, as we move forward, the city overall to put in these living seawalls, how important is it for us in terms of looking at the changing weather patterns, sea level rise, resiliency? Are these steps that are truly going to help us be prepared in the future?
One of the challenges that we're going to face as we move forward is how do we create a resilient shoreline that is also providing habitat to the animals that are here and providing water quality benefits.
FIU is playing a vital role as we move forward with our living seawalls as well. Tell me a little bit about that.
Sure. We're using Miami Beach as a living laboratory. So students are coming in and helping us look at everything from how the groundwater is acting underneath the city to different seawall designs, such as living shorelines that would provide a better protection for the city.
So are we pretty much on the cutting edge? I mean, is the rest of the world looking to us to see, well, what's Miami Beach doing to protect its shoreline in this natural way?
As Miami Beach moves forward with our sea level rise planning and our resiliency, other municipalities are going to be looking at us to see what we're doing. And the fact that we're trying to employ and bring back natural systems, we are really leading the way.
What is the role that the sand dunes play in this resiliency aspect?
Our natural dune system is one of the best ways that we protect our city against storm surge. So the natural vegetation that grows in the dune has a very dense root system, and it serves to capture sand and hold the sand in place. So if we were to have a large storm event, this vegetated berm, it's higher than the beach itself and higher, it's one of the highest points in the entire city, serves to hold back the water and at the same time capture sand so that we are maintaining that healthy, beautiful white sandy beaches.
All right, well, we are definitely ready then for the future with all of our natural aspects to protecting Miami Beach. Thank you very much for explaining that and joining us, and we hope that you all now know everything you need to know about our natural shorelines here in Miami Beach. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back.
A full mailbox, newspapers lining the driveway. These are all signals that you may be leaving for burglars. Stopping mail while you're away is just one of the many things you should be doing to prevent becoming a victim of thieves. Here are more helpful tips. Make sure your home alarm system is working properly, and make sure your alarm company has your correct information on file. Make sure doors and windows are locked. Use pins on sliding glass doors and windows. Invest in quality locks and alarm systems. Set your alarm when you leave, every time, no matter how long you're away. Use exterior lights to illuminate entrances to your home. And mark your valuables with your driver's license number. Keep a record of them too. Write down each item's make, model, and serial number. And remember, at all times, remain vigilant. If you see any suspicious activity or people in your neighborhood, please call our police department's non-emergency number at 305-673-7900. Or if it's urgent, call 911. Together, we can prevent crime, making Miami Beach a safer place to call home.
Take a stroll along the Miami Beach boardwalk, and chances are you'll see 1 or 2 or 3 stray cats. A dedicated group of volunteers and some Miami Beach City employees are working together, spearheading a program designed to reduce the population of stray felines on the beach.
Okay. Slowly pat them.
It's an early Friday evening on Miami Beach, but on this outing, you'll encounter nightlife of a different sort and this determined group of volunteers dedicated to helping the homeless feline population of Miami Beach. This is the TNR team.
This program is called TNR, which stands for Trap, Neuter, Return. And basically we humanely trap feral and stray cats that are free roaming for sterilization and vaccination. This reduces the population of cats. It does not allow any new litters to be born, which stabilizes the population. This newspaper is the best.
For several years, Miami Beach police officer and animal lover Marianne Garcia has been spearheading efforts to raise awareness for the need to control the stray cat population on the beach and to rescue those animals in need of care. With funding from a more than $96,000 grant secured through the national program PetSmart Charities and support from the Cat Network, Officer Garcia, along with a half dozen regular volunteers, are putting a dent in the feral cat population. The tactic? Friday night, the capture. Volunteers carefully prepare cat traps. Saturday afternoon, captured felines are taken to a local veterinarian partner for spaying and neutering. Sunday afternoon, animals considered adoptable are handed over to the Humane Society of Miami-Dade. Others are re-released. They're still stray, but no longer able to reproduce.
This is a win-win for the cats, for the people, for everybody, because there'll be less of them. Over time, the trap-neuter return by sterilizing reduces the population naturally, so no new litters are born. That means no new animals. And that's exactly how it works. And it's been used in other cities. It's been proven effective.
Volunteer Mary Thingelstad has been at the cat trapping game for almost 6 years. Says she does it to make a difference, to help control the cat population and to improve the quality of life for the animals who are strays. Work she describes as satisfying.
He's not so feral after all.
We were trapping and we're like, come on, we got to get these cats, and they were really difficult. And the next thing you know, I sprayed some catnip in the middle of the trap, and what do? We got 3 kittens all at once. It was like, yay, it's so much fun. Then it's finding the tough ones that are hurt and injured and they're really scared, and just getting those in those traps is just such a reward. It just makes you feel good. It's good because they're sitting on wire.
Started as simply a grassroots effort of well-meaning concerned residents, the TNR program has grown and now is officially supported by the city of Miami Beach. Officer Garcia says so far, TNR has rounded up nearly 2,200 cats, had them fixed, and estimates in 3 to 5 years, the community will see a noticeable reduction in the stray and feral cat population.
The city of Miami Beach, I'm thankful that they've agreed to allow us to come out here and trap neuter return the cats, because other cities have already done it in the United States, and it's already been proven effective, and it's wonderful. I mean, it's catching on. Even Miami-Dade Animal Services is doing it. Everybody's doing it because they see now that by sterilizing them, that's the key to stopping the numbers.
And finally, high schools around the country recently wrapped up prom season. Here on Miami Beach, the Parks and Recreation Department hosted a senior prom as well. But this party wasn't about teen couples, it was about real seniors who still know how to party. When you hear senior prom, you probably think teenagers. Young men and women in the final years of high school nervously preparing for a big night out on the town. Well, think again, because sometimes you have to take senior prom literally, as in senior citizens.
I'm completely overjoyed at what they do to keep adults happy.
The Miami Beach Parks and Recreation Department recently hosted a dinner dance event for some of the liveliest senior members of the community. It was a meeting of the generations, with students from Miami Beach Senior High providing music and dance entertainment, serving a light meal, and sharing plenty of new hip dance moves for the more seasoned generation. And then there was Faye Isaacs, undoubtedly the breakout star of the night. At 94 years young, this Miami Beach resident showed off her amazing dance moves and cut up the floor most of the night.
I'm far from amazing. I enjoy dancing, and somehow I was brought up. I've been dancing all my life as a child alone in the living room, and I just enjoy it.
You can't help but find motivation and inspiration simply by watching her boogie. Talk with her a few minutes and it gets even better.
Always keep activity, no matter what it is, mental or physical. Keeps you, anything that interests you. I haven't been able to go anywhere at my age of 94, and I haven't danced for a year. So I would rather dance than dine.
That's a good attitude.
So someone else brought me my pasta, and I love being here, and I think it's wonderful that the city of Miami Beach, or the city, has thought to take care of not only children, which should be taken care of, but also the adults.
Turns out, Faye's enthusiasm for dancing and for living didn't go unnoticed. With a special surprise visit by Miami Beach Mayor Philip Levine, the crowd voted Faye Queen of the Senior Prom. King honors go to Freddie Fernandez, equally agile out on the dance floor. So if you are invited to a prom, don't be so sure it's an offer to just chaperone the kids. Every summer, the Miami Beach Parks and Recreation Department produces a show to end all shows, highlighting all the hard work our youth coaches put in to help keep our kids entertained and focused. Playground Review 2015 is a trip through the ages and a history lesson of Miami Beach. You can watch a rebroadcast of Playground Review right here on MBTV. And that is going to do it for this edition of City Vision. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Julia Yarbough. We leave you now with a look at Independence Day celebrations in North Beach.